Hey y'all, how are you doing? I'm great. Thank you so much for asking. It's me, Kim, and I'm back for another video not another. Look, I'm gotta tell you guys, I was so close to calling this shit off. I was so close. All of a sudden, my internet wasn't working, but thank goodness I'm a Black woman in tech. I've persevered. I feel like the mic settings are off, but that's okay. So I'm trying not to speak too loudly because I don't want to peak the mic. The equalizer, like I messed it up. So hi, we are here to talk about things. Obviously, we're either gonna have to put some real extreme timestamps on this video or edit it and re-upload it because wow. But we have to get straight to the point because I have things to do. Let me just tell you guys, before we really get into it, I literally have been having the worst few days, like so bad. I have a big old bandage over here. Oh, this way. I have a big old bandage this way because I had an infection from an open wound, and then I had to take antibiotics, and now my vagina has an overgrowth of candida. And so now I have a yeast infection. And it's just been a really tough time, you guys. It's been a really rough few days. But I'm here. But we don't want to take up too much time. The first thing, of course, that I'm going to do is shout out the new merch. This is Black Women Aren't Here to Save You, the gold edition. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I loved this idea. If you want to get the gold edition, is it showing up? Not really. But anyways, love it, obsessed, so good. Literally my favorite merch piece ever. That is the link down below. Obviously, if you are a paywalled subscriber, Substack, YouTube members, or Patreon, you get an exclusive discount code. I think it's 11 or 12% off of everything all the time. I'm also thinking, did I mention this last time? I'm thinking of, obviously the Are Y'all Okay merch has been sunsetted. It is retired, but I am thinking of making those pieces only available for the paywalled subscribers. The next thing, if you live in DFW, cranberry juice. Okay. Oh, also, I am totally open to y'all suggestions about my candida issue. Totally open because I'm getting concerned. Okay. Anyways, so feel free, put it in the chat, leave a comment down below, let me know. Okay. Anyways, totally natural, normal. I was, telling my boyfriend the other day, like, it happens. And he's like, yeah, like I date women. It happens. Okay. Anyways, not my man this early in the live stream. We have to get to it. Okay. Shout out to the merch. Shout out to all 585 of you who have purchased a piece or multiple pieces of merch. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Join the DFW GroupMe if you're in Dallas-Fort Worth and you want to hang out and connect. I am sometime this week, probably on Thursday, putting the Galentine's Day event tickets on sale. I think we're going to sell 50 tickets and then we're done. And we'll get into the Galentine's Day thing like later because I have come up with some good ideas for this. But right now we have to get into Chef Way, aka Waymond Wesley II. Now, I think one of the best things about being an internet person is actually seeing the incredible impact that organizing can have, right? Like so many people coming together for a very specific cause. And when it actually turns into something, like that is the absolute best feeling. And so I was laying in bed, trying not to scratch my vulva. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm so vulgar, Kim. So vulgar. Anyways, I was laying in bed itchy, and I was scrolling my Instagram, or no, scrolling my Twitter, and I saw Philip Lewis like post that he had resigned, and I said, "We did it!" Anyways, shout out to y'all. Shout out to all of us because I love that for us. As I mentioned in the last live stream, I think anybody can come back from anything, but what has Waymond Wesley II done in order to make any of us feel comfortable with him being, having any kind of oversight or authority over criminal cases? You know what I mean? Over sentencing, over who to pursue charges against. Like, he has not. I think he resigned. He technically did not get fired. I'm sure that there was a lot of pressure for him to resign, and I'm glad about it. Okay, first, let's what I wanted to do before we really get into it is, in the last live stream, I talked about 3 or 4 different pieces of scholarship about the intersection of skin tone, skin color, and police interaction, or just overall interaction with the criminal legal system with regard to sentencing. One of those people that I referenced was Ellis Monk, who is a scholar at Harvard in the Department of Sociology. And I recently watched an interview with him where he was talking about some of his work. And during that interview, I love to listen to scholars. He said a couple of things that I just thought were super, super fascinating with regard to bodies and skin color. So, you know me, I definitely wanted to make sure that we listen to people who actually know what they're talking about in this regard. So, let's go ahead and listen to Ellis Monk.
When we think about some of the most powerful theories in the social sciences, we think about different theories of capital. So one example, of course, is economic capital. When we think about some of the
What's
most
going on?
powerful
Whoa, whoa,
theories
whoa,
in
whoa,
the social
whoa.
sciences, we think about different theories of capital. So one example, of course, is economic capital. Who has more money?
Wait a second, you guys. Something has gone wrong here in my freaking. Turn this off. Okay, let's try it one more time. Don't do that again.
When we think about some of the most powerful
So,
theories in the social sciences, we think about different theories of capital. So one example, of course, is economic capital. Who has more money? Simple idea. Social capital. Who has more connections, perhaps, right? And those connections are a resource that we can use. You could also think about cultural capital, right? Of course, like information, knowledge, know-how, these sorts of things. These 3 major forms of capital, and this is coming from the work of Bourdieu, but not just the work of Bourdieu, is really highlighting that when we want to understand what goes on in the social world, we need to understand the kind of resources, the powers that people have. And what I'm arguing, building on this work, is that the body, your physical appearance, is another one of these types of resources. So for instance, if we think about something like skin tone, it's signifying your belonging in these different racial categories. And we know that in our society, that different racial categories are associated with different types of power, right? Different types of political power, different types of economic power. So your body is signifying your membership into these categories. When we think about something like physical appearance more broadly, we're thinking about things like perceptions of beauty. And we know that there's lots of research that shows that there's lots of discrimination on the basis of perceptions of beauty. And these perceptions of beauty are racialized, they're gendered. And from this research on perceived physical attractiveness, we see that people are treated differently based on how beautiful or not they appear to other people, right? So this is a power in society. Some research shows that there's inequality among people even after we take their education, IQ, whatever, into account. There's inequality in terms of how much money people are making based just on like perceptions, subjective perceptions of physical appearance, of beauty. So this is another resource in society that's unequally distributed by race and by gender. So when I say your body is a form of capital, or as I put it, bodily capital, I'm saying that your skin tone, your facial features, body size, BMI, all of these sorts of things are used by people, everyone in the world, really, all over the world, are using these different bodily markers in status hierarchies. And this is something that's determining who gets what and how much they get. And it's when we think about some of the most
Man, anybody who follows me knows that that is right up my alley, right? Ellis Monk talking about his idea of bodily capital. Of course, so many people have explored the idea of the relative privilege that you get based on the body that you exist in, how you navigate the world, whether or not people find you attractive, what your skin tone is, not just what your race is, your facial features, right? All of these things. And of course, your body is a commodity, right? Like you can trade for certain things. It can get you entree into certain spaces or get you left out of certain spaces. And the axes in which like that stuff operates, Ellis Monk is trying to tell us, are way more complex than I think a lot of people take into account. It is not just, are you white or are you black? Are you Asian or are you Native American or indigenous? It is, what is the shape of your nose, right? Right? He also mentioned a scholar named Trina Jones, a legal scholar, who also, of course, a Black woman would do this, right? The texture of your hair, right? For in a lot of places determines whether or not you are treated well, how harshly you are treated within systems of authority, within mainstream institutions, right? There's many, many layers to this. And of course, I can't talk about Waymond Wesley II or the potential consequences of his very clear bias against women with dark skin, Black women in general, women who are not skinny, right? Like, we cannot talk about that stuff without connecting it to the structural piece. And so I want to reiterate over and over and over again that this is not, I know everybody, misinterest Kimberly, hashtag misinterest Kimberly, you just want to bring down Black men. Okay. But actually, as we see from a Black man, right, who has done lots of research about bodily capital in the world, in the criminal legal system, right, with police interactions, with judges, with prosecutors. He's also done a lot of work in South America, that there are huge, huge consequences. The other interesting thing about that interview is we still have not developed in the United States a clear legal framework for people who are being discriminated against because of their skin tone, not necessarily because of their race, to win legal action, like civil claims, right? So because, everything is built on precedent, you hang out with enough lawyers, you talk to enough lawyers, as I have, precedent builds on precedent builds on precedent. And right now, there is currently no precedent for people to make claims against employers for potentially being discriminated against because they are dark-skinned rather than light-skinned, right? Like the bottle girls. There's no legal precedent for like a dark-skinned woman winning a discrimination case because she was not hired versus, a light-skinned woman, because in our current legal frameworks, they only see gender and only see race and not the many gradations and the nuances and the complexities of how we show up in the world. So that was super interesting. Super interesting. Okay. Let me go. Oh, also have to tell you, I've been to the doctor. I wouldn't be coming on here talking about it. Baby, I'm smart. I've taken the antifungal, like the prescriptions. Like, please, give me some credit. I'm not, Okay, next, we need to go to, let me look at some of these comments. For the white celebrities complaining about cancel culture, this is what an actual cancellation looks like. Yeah. Okay, I'm looking more. I know this may not land well, but with all respect, I don't understand how the chef resigning was a win. He posted those tweets in his 20s. I don't mean any disrespect, though. But he was not 19. He was 24. I don't understand. Look, I believe in rehabilitation. I believe in growth and evolution. But I find the desire to infantilize Waymond Wesley II very strange. Because that man is old enough to have been a college graduate. 24 is not 14. Somebody the other day commented like, oh, he posted those things 7 years ago. He's 31 now. He posted that stuff when he was 21. Are y'all okay? Can y'all do math? Because this is real basic arithmetic. Are y'all intentionally not subtracting very small numbers well in order to make a case for why this fully grown adult person should not be treated like a fully grown adult person? And again, we're not saying lock him up and throw away the key. Um, 24 is definitely a young age. Yes, 24 is definitely young enough to where you can grow and evolve and be a different person in your 30s. But also old enough to face consequences. Like, I don't know what y'all want to do. I don't know. Because we need to decide what our stance is. Is the stance is that nothing that anybody does under the age of 25 counts? Is that y'all stance? Because if that's y'all stance, y'all better stand up in it. Y'all, if that's your stance, I just find it curious because I've never seen people take that stance before. I've never seen it. Not when we're talking about a 24-year-old. The other thing is, right? This man is not just a random man on the corner. He is a whole assistant DA. I think it is totally possible that he could be a completely changed person. But what evidence do we have for that? Speaking of, we actually do need to go on to the looking at his actual apology. Okay. Let's go. Okay. He posted a 4-part apology on his Twitter page. Let's go through it together. I know that this has been a painful time for many. The situation has remained complicated offline, but I want to offer the much-needed apology and context that I have wanted to share since the day my past tweets garnered attention. 2015 to 2016, 7 years ago, in my early 20s, I'm about to turn 34, right, in 2 months. And I don't call 34 my early 20s, my early 30s, right? I'm in my mid-30s. Anyways, let's go. 7 years ago, in my early 20s, from a place of pain fueled by alcoholism, I would lash out at people on Twitter to seek attention, including Black women. I deeply regret and am sorry for my tweets. To be fully transparent, at the time, I was severely addicted to alcohol, underweight, sleep deprived, and in and out of rehab and sober living facilities. In 2015, I was hospitalized 4 times in 2 states for drinking myself into unconsciousness. I was so addicted to alcohol in 2015 that I was granted a medical withdrawal from school and prescribed medication to combat withdrawal symptoms and cravings. In 2015, I sought help from the Lawyer Assistance Program and was being monitored under a voluntary agreement which required random urinalysis and mandatory AA. I spent Christmas 2015 in an inpatient rehab, only to come home and relapse twice by June 2016. After these relapses, I started my third attempt at residential treatment in a sober living facility. I would relapse one more time while living in the facility before sobering up October 2nd, 2016, my current sobriety date. By God's grace, I've been sober for more than 6 years now. In total, I spent about 19 months in inpatient and residential facilities to treat my alcoholism. Alcoholism is a disease. It nearly killed me. I am not the man I was in 2015. Okay, so I definitely think that substance use disorder can make people act out of character. Certainly, but I also have to say, you know, when I saw the fiance, I said, "Oh, baby, you're not beating the charges. You're not. You know what I mean?" It's just, you know. Anyways, it's just funny, right? You say all of that stuff about, you know, not black women being garbage, and she's too dark and all of that, and then you do end up, you know, with, you know, partnering you know, an Asian woman. And, you know, I don't want to drag Melissa. I don't know that lady. I'm just saying, who your partner is political. Anyways, that was the first one. Let's go. Let me be clear, my alcoholism is not an excuse, but it gives context for who I was at that time in my life. I was a bully in 2015 that chose to pick on the most disrespected, unprotected, and neglected demographic in America. I want y'all to know that a lot of those tweets were not just from 2015. Many of them were from 2016. All right. Black women. I do not hate Black women. I have never hated Black women. I have no childhood trauma, romantic heartbreak, or other interaction with a Black woman that would ever cause for me to hate them. I accept responsibility and apologize to Black women for the pain caused by the tweets then and now. On Twitter from 2015 to 2016, there was a sick trend that targeted and trolled Black women to gain attention and followers. Unfortunately, I joined this trend. Like alcohol, I was addicted to the vitriol and hatred that was spewed back and forth between myself and other users that were angered by my posts. I regret that Black women who already faced dehumanization and discrimination from other racial groups were the brunt of this inflammatory discourse, led in large parts by Black men online. These tweets were not a drunk mind speaking sober thoughts. These tweets do not reflect the majority of my interactions on the platform, and they were the product of a very sick individual who hated only himself and wanted attention. Alcoholism destroyed me mentally, spiritually, and physically. I had no deep-rooted pathological hatred for Black women then, and I absolutely do not now. Black women, I am deeply sorry for the hurt I've caused. Oh, unlikely. I'm sorry. It wasn't one tweet, two tweets, three tweets. It was so many pointed tweets and comparison. Nobody is believing that you did not then have a deep-seated hatred for Black women. What explains it? You were just joining the trend of hating Black women. Like, that was the trend. Like, you already said it. I don't like that. Okay. The punching bag tweet, is fake. While I accept accountability for the screenshots of the 2015 tweets, there is a fabricated, manually written retweet circulating referencing Black women as punching bags that I never wrote. The author of that tweet, Latry Howard, has since reached out to me and personally apologized, tweeted an apology, as well as made himself known to the DA's office in the state bar. I do not condone violence against anyone, especially Black women. I knew it was fake. That's why I didn't share it. It was just so obviously fake. That's why we do have to get our literacy up, in a little bit. So I know during that last live stream, people were like, "You missed the worst tweet." No, I didn't. I saw what was an obviously fabricated tweet. The thing about that stuff is, okay, we can do a little quick media literacy tutorial. Okay. It was easy to see that tweet was fake because for the other tweets where he was calling people, "Oh, this is garbage and you're too fat to wear that bikini and you're too dark and whatever," there's multiple people who had retweeted him, manually retweeted him, had it saved. Lots of people, had that stuff screenshot. For that punching bag tweet, there was one source, one person. It does not make sense that only one person would have that tweet. Okay, let's get back to it. My rehabilitation. Oh, also Latry. Latry, don't get sued out here, Latry. Don't get sued. Okay, my rehabilitation. I was only able to get out of the personal hell that birthed the tweets after uninterrupted sobriety, the support of my family, reliance on God, therapy, medical treatment, the 12 steps and AA meetings. I began working with the Lawyer Assistance Program in 2015. I've regularly attended AA since 2016 and therapy since 2014. I've worked with 12 steps, which taught me to make amends where I had wronged another. I actively sponsor other men in AA to help them reach long-term sobriety. After accepting help, I was able to look within and heal the self-inflicted wounds that created the shell of a man I was in 2015. Finding passions like cooking played a major role in my healing process. Today, I choose life over death, sobriety over alcoholism. And love over hate. We live in a world where we encourage troubled people to change their lives for the better and take advantage of second chances. I challenge you to believe that is possible. I am a living, breathing example. Next. Resignation. I started law school in 2013, but due to my alcoholism, I would not graduate until 2019. That's the other thing. This man could have been a whole lawyer out here. Okay. Despite my obstacles, I found treatment and kept following my life goal, taking on a large financial burden, going to night school, and working full-time while finishing my final year of classes, ultimately studying for the bar exam and passing on the first try. When I was blessed to join the DA's office, I applied the same rigor and tenacity that brought me out of the hell I lived in for years. I regularly completed large volumes of quality work, and my colleagues knew if I was on the team, the workload was going to be easier to handle. I treated victims, defendants, my colleagues, staff, officers, judges, and defense attorneys with dignity and respect. I never operated from a place of bias of any kind. Unlikely. My professional reputation, work ethic are a major factor in why so many people still believe in me. Additionally, having been hired in spite of my past struggles with severe and debilitating alcoholism motivated me even harder to help people through the pursuit of justice receive the second chance that I was granted. You would have to believe that prosecutors are deeply invested in the pursuit of justice, but that's another conversation for another day. Although the leadership at the DA's office and I believed a path forward was possible at the outset of the situation, it has grown clear that my presence is becoming a distraction. I bet. The major objectives of the office are to seek justice and help victims, as well as assist defendants through one of the most, if not the most difficult period in their lives. But once I saw that my presence at the DA's office was becoming larger than the office itself, and the ability of Black women in particular to feel protected, I knew the only correct course of action was to resign and allow the healing process to begin. I took great pride in serving the public. I loved my job and looked forward to working my way up to become a district court chief one day. To be confronted with the hurt I caused Black women from a time when I was mentally, physically, and spiritually unwell, and after years of rehabilitation and reconciliation, is one of the most difficult challenges I have ever faced. However, I have not given up on hope. I know that through trust in Him, my healthy coping mechanisms, and the support of my loved ones, I will continue to be of service to my fellows. Okay, well, that was a lot. There's a lot going on there. Absolutely, it was for the best for Wesley to resign. There was no pathway forward. You can't do the work while doing the job that could potentially, ruin somebody's life. Do I think that he will eventually find, another job? Maybe, probably. Ooh, also, I wanted to say that people were bringing up his mom. I intentionally didn't, include a picture of her here because, what did that lady do except, birth a fuck boy? It's not her fault. But she's not particularly light-skinned. She's an insurance agent in Houston. You know what I mean? I know y'all his mom probably taught him to hate dark-skinned women. She not light, So anyways, that's that on that. Let's go to the comments. This apology is what people do when they're guilty and called out to be accountable, but instead talk around the issue. Yes, I think, again, the final piece of this is, what are you going to do? Right? Like, what work, like specific work are you going to do? Specific work, not general through the pursuit of the justice system and I want to help people. Nope. Specific work. Because, by the way, I know, maybe he can make a few coins. Probably not. But if he thinks that he's going to just be able to like smoothly transition into being like the cooking chef, like on TikTok or whatever, no, we gonna shut that down too. So you need to be coming up. Look, I'm just being honest with you. I'm being honest with you, Wesley. You need to be coming up with some very specific ways that you are going to address harm. Specific. Okay? Get down to the nitty gritty. Are you making some phone calls? Are you giving some money? Are you sending some DMs? Let us know. Because all your shit gonna be, I'm just saying. Okay. Next. His mom's definitely light. She is definitely not light-skinned in Houston. She's definitely not. You can look her up. She is definitely not light-skinned in Houston. Not even really light-skinned in Oklahoma City. In the land of the Creoles, that lady's not light-skinned. Look her up. I don't have a deep desire to drag that lady. He's a private citizen now. He doesn't owe anyone any more work. Well, if he wants to be an influencer and wants to have a platform and not be constantly besieged by comments and people reaching out to any potential sponsors that might want to work with him. But even, have y'all been looking around? Private citizens get fired from their private jobs every day for dumb shit that they do on social media. Like, right? You're a private citizen who can still reap incredible consequences for what you do on a public platform. Oh, is it just me? Are y'all new here? Are you new here? That's how that works. Okay. Why does it always fall on the mom? What about his father teaching colorist? Why did that just come out? I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know why people were. I just saw a couple of comments being like, "Oh, his mom probably," and I was like, I don't know. That lady seems like she's just trying to live a good life in Houston. Okay. The way the brands dropped him when the DA wanted to hold on to him, that's definitely something. Definitely something. Waymond, you are not America's next prosecutor. Please pack your bags and go home. Okay. I came in late. Statement ever mentioned being rehabilitated from being a colorist, not just rehabilitated from addiction. No, it did not, right? In fact, Waymond actually explicitly said that he never harbored any sincere, deep hate for Black women. He was just joining the popular social media trend of hating Black women. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure what the difference is. I'm not sure because it seems the same, but that's what he said. Okay. Yeah. Right. And that's why it's abolish the prosecutor's office, abolish it all. Kim Ogg made it clear that colorism, ooh, this just moved fast, that colorism isn't a disqualifier for being in the DA's office. Yes. And that is the thing, right? Like, ooh, that is why I'm really proud of us, you guys. I'm really proud of us, okay? Collective, you know what I mean? Because am I surprised that the white woman district attorney could not accurately process the complexity, the nuance, the seriousness of this matter? Shout out to the AKA. Shout out to the AKAs. This is a serious matter, right? No, I'm not surprised. And that's why it is incumbent upon us, right? As people who know better, as people who have, some of us, read the scholarship, who understand how this plays out in real life, who truly grasp how enormous the consequences of this particular bias can be, why it does unfortunately fall on us to compel and cajole and march and call and email to say, look, like, this is not just going to go away quietly. And even though when I looked at the other people who work in the prosecutor's office, there are a lot of Black people there, but, even Black people don't really be, they don't really be knowing all the time. Okay. Like when your mom has to get on Twitter and distance herself from you, please look at yourself. Please. Please. That's embarrassing. Right? Your mom has to take time away from, the DVRing the Wendy Williams show to get on Twitter to tell the world that she thinks that you're being irresponsible. Shameful. Yeah, it's like Kanye saying, I'm not an anti-Semite, I just act like one. Right. Okay, what else do we have? He might spin this into content for a channel or something. I mean, he's probably going to try. I mean, look, people have to make a living. People got to make a living. Maybe he will become an insurance agent or something like that, I don't know. He going to do something. It's crazy because I know he wouldn't have apologized if those tweets didn't resurface. Absolutely not. Okay. Yeah, where was the dad? I'm definitely interested. We have not heard, but who knows? Y'all so educated. What? What's going on? What's going on? Y'all so educated, but your boys and girls can't read at grade level? What's going on here? What's going on? Okay. What else do we have? I hope I see him. I hope I see him as a DoorDash driver. I'm not deeply, look, I still believe in fairness, and I don't ever really want to invest myself deeply in Schadenfreude. I think that the outcome that I desired happened, and Miss Sealyhan, you know what I mean? Everything, until you do right by me, everything, around you is going to crumble. Like, I'm fine with that. I don't, not, I mean, I'm laughing, but I'm not, because I don't really have vengeful instincts. That's not how I operate in the world. Okay. I gotta go. You guys, I think what we're going to do, we're going to keep this up for a minute, and I'll put in the comments like where the video actually starts, and then probably take it down and then re-upload the edited version, because 20 minutes of like nothing is just crazy. It's out of control. Anyways, I just wanted to come on here to talk about the update, you guys. Have a great rest of your night. It's 8:30 at night. Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Cop some merch. The gold version of Black Women Aren't Here to Save You. Join the Patreon if you're in Dallas or Fort Worth. Join our Black Woman GroupMe. That link is in the description box as well. I will see you guys next time. Oh, leave any. Oh, also this thing. I got an infection and I had to get like the little mini surgery, and it's a whole thing. And then I had to get on antibiotics, and then antibiotics, caused another problem. And it's like, ow, 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 pain, pain, pain. Anyways, it's a whole thing. So my PSA is don't pop things that look like pimples. If you're not 100% sure it's a pimple, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you're not 100%, like literally 115% sure, and if it's not in a place that you've already had a pimple, do not fucking pop it. Okay? Don't be like me. Be better than me. Because, ow. Do you want to see? Do you want to see? I'm disfigured. I'm disfigured. Okay. I got to go. See you guys later. Bye.